Available on Blu-ray from Film Movement is 2023's Club Zero, starring Mia Wasikowska, who you probably recognize, and directed by Jessica Hausner, which is a name I did not recognize, but now I want to seek out more of her work because I really enjoyed this film. So this is like a dark comedy drama. It starts off very quirky, very odd, very amusing, straight-faced, deadpan amusing, and gets progressively darker and more serious as it goes along. Very interestingly shot too. Very interesting camera angles, and the basic story here, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. The basic story here is that Wasikowska is a new teacher at this elite prep school, boarding school, what have you, and she is there to teach nutrition. So she has a nutrition class for this one group of kids, and she's teaching them something called conscious eating, which is a much slower, more methodical way of eating that causes you to eat less and, not to lose weight, to not gain weight, to enjoy food more, to get more nutrition out of the food, what kind of food you should and shouldn't eat. And as the film goes on, she introduces more and more unusual and radical principles to how this small group of students should be eating. And that small group of students essentially becomes a cult. And this gets darker and darker as it goes along. And it addresses the whole idea of nutrition and weight loss and eating disorders and the mental health of youth and the connection between parents and youth and adult authority figures and youth and cults and followers. And it's really good. And I love how this movie transformed from, oh yeah, this is really silly and funny too. Well, this is a little less funny now too. Oh my God, this is really serious and horrifying. Beautifully performed, mostly unknowns to me, but all the kids were great. All the adults were great. Wasikowska is always great. And she's very believable as this odd, very solitary, very focused woman who has her own brand of tea with her face on it that she gives to the students. Not in the cup, but on the package. And really good. Shot in Austria, I believe, but in English entirely. Technical specs, PCM stereo, Dolby True HD 5.1. If that matters to anybody, I always point that out, as I said, in English. And I don't want to say too much more about it than that, other than it was incredibly compelling, very Wes Anderson-y sometimes in how particular some of the performances and some of the behavior of people are, how it looks. But it's this, as I say oftentimes, this pendulum swing, this huge gap between, wow, this is light and funny and I'm giggling at it, to, wow, this is tragic and I want to cry by the end of it. It's just like very good. So and the disc is loaded with trailers for some, if not all, of Jessica Hausner's other films, which I really want to seek out now. I don't know if they're available or not. I haven't tried to look. Special features on this are a 5-minute Jessica Hausner interview, a 5-minute Mia Wasikowska interview. Each of those are 5 minutes, as they say, and they're sort of an EPK press junket kind of thing. It looks like they were done maybe at Cannes or something like that, some film market where the cast is assembled to basically say, here's what my character's about. Here's what this movie's about. So they're pleasant, but they're short and not too substantial. What is substantial is a Jessica Hausner masterclass from the, I think it was the Munich Film Festival. It is 79 minutes in subtitled, where she just deep dives into her work. And then we get the trailer for Club Zero, trailer for Lourdes, which is another Hausner film, which looks vaguely similar in style and tone to this film. It looks very well made. I might have heard of that one. Movie called Hotel that she made, and then one called Lovely Rita that I'd heard about, which apparently looks like it was shot on video. The disc itself, is there anything fancy here? Sure there is. So we have the cover, which I don't know if that's in focus. Is that in focus? Is that in focus? If I put it in front of my face, is that in focus? Is that in focus? And then we have Wasikowska's face on the disc. And I love when they do this. You get a little flyer for other films that Film Movement has out. But then you get a very, once you've seen the movie, kind of disturbing shot from the movie that's very evocative, as is the menu. Once you've watched the movie, you pop the disc in and the menu screen is like, okay, it's kids singing a song, whatever. And then you've watched the film and you watch it again and you're like, oh my God, that song, that's really creepy. So available on Blu-ray, probably streaming as well, but the disc has extras and I'm always a disc kind of guy over streaming. From Film Movement, excellent film, Club Zero.